What's up guys, Penguin Overlord here, and welcome back to Recon Breakpoint. In today's video, I'm going to give my review of the CTMMG Baal, or Baal. Not 100% sure how that's pronounced, but that's okay. We're just going to move on and do the review of this weapon. This weapon you get from beating the first Titan Alpha in Project Titan, which is Recon Breakpoint's first raid. Now, before I go on with this review, I do want to make clear that I did most of my testing on this weapon with a 250 gear score weapon, and with my overall gear score at 251, which really isn't a huge amount of difference. Now, one thing that you do get when you get this item from Baal, Titan Alpha, is that you'll get an item with a higher gear score than 250, and a blueprint of that weapon, so you can craft it at any time at 250, or you can have this higher gear score version. And one thing about the raid is that you can get items and weapons at a gear score of up to 300, which dramatically impacts how much damage you can do on enemies. If you have a much higher gear score level than your enemy does, because in the main island of Aurora, they're capped at 250, you will do a ton of more damage, and it wouldn't be a fair reflection of the weapon, and thus it wouldn't be a completely honest review. So for all of my testing, which was mostly against behemoth drones, I used a 250 gear score weapon and made sure that my gear score didn't go significantly high. This one was stuck at 251. So that's what I did most of my testing on in terms of gear score. Now, truthfully, I'm not a huge fan of this weapon. Let's go into that. So its main bonus, since this is a signature weapon, is that it increases accuracy while shooting. Now, it does that by starting off with horrible accuracy. The horizontal recoil on this gun is just plain bad, and it's really hard to hit smaller targets like human enemies with this gun. I mean, it can be done if you tap it out in short bursts, but if you're trying to activate sustained fire, it's just not going to go very well. It works a little bit better on behemoth drones or other larger drones, because it's simply a larger target, but I'm really just not impressed by the recoil. It kind of flattens out at around round 50 or so. After that, it just kind of becomes straight and much easier to control. The problem, of course, with this is that it's really hard to get precision shots on targets. So if you're considering using this weapon on the raid, one of the raid bosses, I wouldn't really recommend it, since they have tight, smaller hitboxes where you can actually damage them, and they're often at distance. So this really wouldn't be a good weapon to use in the raid, even at a higher gear score level. Another problem with the gun is you don't really have a whole lot of attachments to work with. You can't increase accuracy or anything because it doesn't have any rail attachments that you can use. You only have the muzzle attachments, which is limited as it is. Optics, which is really a personal preference thing. You can put an ACOG on it though, which is nice, but that's it's basically useless on this gun since the recoil on it is just so bad. And you are stuck with the grip pod or the tactical vertical foregrip, which aren't really my preferred options for LMGs. I mean, I don't even have the tactical vertical foregrip, so I couldn't even say how well it would work, but I generally don't want decreased reload speed on LMGs since they take forever to reload anyway. Beyond that, at a normal gear score level, it kind of just performs damage-wise as a regular LMG, so I really don't see a whole lot of purpose in using it. Oh, another thing, you can't change the magazine, so you're stuck at 100. Reload speed's not bad, especially if you're running close and personal, but still, it's just, no. I'm really not a fan of this gun. It's, in my personal opinion, the worst of the signature weapons released in the Breakpoint raid. Everything else is basically just going to be better, and this is just kind of a waste of time, and I mostly won't use this gun ever again unless it's just for giggles. And yeah, and of course, it's another downside is that since it's a signature weapon, you will not be able to have any drone damage bonuses. And again, against behemoth drones, if you have a high gear score level, it'll shred through them no problem. But if you're trying to use a 250 gear score weapon, it's just going to take forever to kill them, and it's, in general, I don't recommend this weapon for all the reasons I've discussed. So I'm just going to close it out here before I ramble on for another 10 minutes. No one wants to hear that, but you get my gist. This isn't a good weapon. It's easily one of the worst weapons in the game, actually, my personal opinion. It's just not good because the accuracy on it is just so bad out the gate. It would only really be good in CQB situations where you're like indoors, so you don't have to worry about the spread as much. But even then, I still kind of prefer higher accuracy weapons, so I have no reason to use this gun ever again, and I'll probably just disassemble it for additional metal parts as I continue to upgrade other more useful weapons, such as this Mark 14 Assault, or if I can scroll down and find it, the Goblin. That's going to be a fun gun to test and review. But anyway, I'm just going to end it here before I ramble on too long. Yeah, that's my review of the CTMMG Baal. Not recommended. 2 thumbs down. Downvote. Whatever negative voting system you prefer. Not a fan. So, there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm Penguin Overlord, and I will catch you all next time. Take care, guys.